All right, in this episode, we talk about plyometrics
and programs like P90X and Insanity for pitchers.
For pussies.
All right, Brent Porcio, Stephen Godani here at the @TopVelocity #Pitch and Tip Show, where you go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and you ask your question at @TopVelocity #Pitch and Tips at Stephen Godani. If you want to throw that in there, we answer on the show. If you haven't been to TopVelocity.net, go check out our programs. 3X Velocity camps are coming up. We'll be at the ABCA convention. We've said this enough. Hopefully, we'll have a big group of guys coming. Maybe we'll be doing something really cool and give out like raffle off a program with a Kindle or something. I don't know.
That's actually good. That's a good
Sounds
idea.
pretty cool. David Ardsman's going to be there. We're going to do some really cool presentations with him. Kind of the things that we worked on in season this year when he played with the Braves. What's the question for today?
Gonzo asks, can plyometric exercises make me throw hard? Workout programs like Insanity as an example.
Yeah, plyometrics are great because they're power movements. But here's the thing is, in anything we could do, we can train too far into an energy system that's not going to be as beneficial to a high velocity pitcher. So if I do plyometrics to kind of complement or add in some speed to my power program or to my heavy load, you know, back squatting, front squatting, cleaning, that would be a good complement. We'll do that as kind of a peripheral exercise, something kind of comes at the end. But if I'm making that the only thing, like for example, you used Insanity, P90X, problem is those programs are really big in training into lactic acid, where you're repping so much that you're fighting the burn, right? You're
going until exhaustion.
Right, you're going into exhaustion and you're getting into that aerobic training with it. Which what happens is when you go so far into burning in and you start burning into lactic acid, your brain shuts down the impulses to your muscles and reduces the intensity. So you start going at a lower intensity just so you can get through the workout. And we actually start training to aerobically, which is gonna make our anaerobic power go down. So, you know, if you took like an Olympic lifter who's a freak when it comes to power production, those fast twitch type 2X, am I wrong? And you put them into a P90X or an Insanity workout, you would crush their power output. They would lose, their maxes would go down, their maximum power would go down, but then they would increase their rep loads. You know, they'd be able to go longer. So that's that balance of aerobic to anaerobic training. Obviously, I don't want to be too aerobic, because as a pitcher, if we look at what we do as a pitcher, we're on that mound, our pitch takes around 1 second, then we rest, another pitch for 1 second, and we're roughly around 20 pitches an inning, and then we get to chill out, restore or rebuild all that ATP, all that anaerobic ATP, go back, do it again. So I don't see that kind of work environment being similar to Insanity or P90X. So I would say no, I don't like those programs, Insanity, P90X, just like I don't like CrossFit programs. I like Olympic-based programs, more of what we do, which are modeled into our biomechanics for the mound and our drills for training those movements on the mound, maximizing power in our lifting, maximizing strength, using our plyometrics to kind of enhance that, bring it more to the field movements, jumping, running, throwing, right? So we can get it through the biomechanics drills and into the pitching delivery and enhance the throws on the mound. That's how we do it. So just going to an Insanity, a P90X is not going to be that effective in what we're trying to do. Now, if you've never worked out before and you're a baseball pitcher and you go do Insanity P90X, you're gonna see a performance benefit up to a certain point, and then you're gonna plateau. And then you're gonna need what we do here, a better approach to get to an elite level and really optimize your pitching velocity. Did I leave anything out?
I would just say the Insanity and P90X stuff, that's like really good for hypertrophy, like you're pushing past, you're going to exhaustion, kind of just, it's good to overload and like build muscle, and that's cool, but it's not good for power production at all. So on the other hand, with plyometrics, I think if they benefit you, it's really based on the individual athlete and on the spectrum of strength and speed. On the far spectrum of guys being really strong but not that fast, they can benefit from plyometrics. And then on the other spectrum, guys being really have a lot of speed, naturally, natural plyometric ability, fast, can naturally kind of jump high, but they're not all that strong, where they would need to benefit from strength more to kind of meet in the middle with power. But also with guys with strength, plyometrics can only take you so far, because there's speed you can't influence as much as you can other factors. So what you're naturally given with speed, you can influence a little bit with plyometrics and kind of give you a little bit more, but at some point you're going to cap out. And I think that's when the Olympic lifting kind of comes in, and that kind of gives you, you can remodel some of your fast twitch into the type 2X fast twitch, where it can kind of push you past your genetic limit. So I think strength and plyometrics is awesome for power, and it can build a good, powerful, efficient athlete. But if you're one of those guys who's really slow and doing the plyometrics and strength training, and it got you to a certain point, I think busting through the plateau with Olympic lifting is huge. And
yeah, because Olympic lifting it's like plyometrics with a load. So you're doing jumping movements, but you're loading those movements, which forces your body to activate more motor units, and build more and remodel more fast twitch, and maximize power. Plyometrics in a lighter load environment, it's going to be harder to activate as many motor units as if you're putting a load on it. It still will initially in a beginner athlete allow them to activate more motor units, but it's going to cap out to where adding a load to that plyometric, like an Olympic lift, will allow you to go higher. So it allows you to maximize power higher.
And we still use the plyometrics in the program too. That's why it is the fusion system. So it is heavy strength training, Olympic lifting, plyometrics. All of them help together to build a powerful athlete. So you got to be doing a lot of the things and find out kind of individually what you need to be working on.
Because you need every edge when you're trying to optimize your body as far as it'll go, and you're trying to do something that genetically really wasn't built to do. You have to have every aspect. You got to come at it in every aspect, and that's what the fusion system represents in the 3X Pitching Velocity program. Is it's fusing in all these different approaches to try to maximize the biomechanics, and that's why the biomechanics. It all has to go through the biomechanics and the biomechanic drills we have if you're going to get it to the mound. So I wouldn't recommend taking an Insanity program and trying to push that through our biomechanics. Yeah, it'll work, but it won't be as beneficial, and you won't get the results that you'd get if you did more of what we do with the fusion system, bringing in all these other aspects of power training, strength training, and to influence those biomechanics. Good question. If you have a question, go to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at TopVelocity, #PitchingTips. Ask your question, we answer it on the show. If you haven't been to Top Velocity, go check that out. Like I said, our 3X Velocity camps are coming up. We got a lot of great articles on there. Hey, Steven just wrote a great article on recovery. You want to talk about your article a little bit?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, so I pretty much just wrote an article on recovery. I've been training with David, and David was kind of just crushing me, and I was just getting really. By the end of the time he left, the last workout, I was like, all right, my body was shut down, like I couldn't do it. So I've always really been into recovery, nutrition, all that kind of stuff. So I decided to write an article kind of just about how athletes need to be eating a ton, not only to promote muscle growth, but also to really help with your recovery. Supplementing, how supplementing is kind of, I call it kind of BS, like it's really only 5% of the battle, how you really got to just be eating tons of food to build muscle, recover faster, all that jazz, and then really getting into parasympathetic activities, stuff like yoga, stretching, meditation, exactly, sauna, bath, kind of just really relaxing activities to let your central nervous system and neuromuscular system recharge and get ready for another week of training.
Yes, you go to TopVelocity.net, look under the second navigation under nutrition, and you'll see his article. Check it out. If you like it, share it. Like, you can share this video, ask your question, we'll answer on the show. We'll see you next time.